Welcome back. Obviously, through the podcast, your two favourite hosts, Joel
and Amy.
Yeah, me, obviously, we're back on your screens again, like always. Obviously, not used to seeing us every single time.
Every time.
But yeah, man, today we're back with a new episode. Alright, cool. So today's episode we're going to speak about is dreams. Everyone's dreamt. You know, we all have dreams. Sometimes it could be bad dreams, sometimes it could be good dreams. Dreams is something normally we all humans have. We've had a dream at least once in our lives, and this could be anything. Dreaming about one day you want to have your dream job, you might want to have a big family, or you might want to have you might want to be successful in life. Dream come from dreaming about something that is about to happen. And there's also bad dreams that obviously everyone's aware of, and obviously everyone might refer to as nightmares, might I say, nightmares. This is when the mind is troubled for some reason, which proceeds to having bad dreams. So, you could be always overthinking, having anxiety, and then sometimes these type of things tend to show up in our dreams. The Bible mentions, and it is clear that God can and does speak to people through dreams. This doesn't always mean that it's a spiritual significant. This is a channel where God will communicate with us.
So whatever need you have, God will bring you into that chapter and he will show you that chapter. So, for example, I need work today. God will show me the chapter that I'm about to walk into. The people that I'll see within the atmosphere. Now, one thing we tend to see within our dreams is what will happen in a scenario. So when we see that scenario, we tend to fear and we tend to prepare for that scenario. And 9 times out of 10, we tend to react in a bad way. Not understanding within this life is about how you control yourself, how peaceful you can be, how strong are you within this life to hold God's commands whilst you walk on this earth. Now, one thing we do is that we tend to hold on to a lot of people. And when we have a lot of desires, we tend to connect with a lot of people. So we tend to connect chapters with different people, and we don't understand the steps that people have took. But sometimes God will show that in your dream that, okay, you're going to enter this chapter with this person. And the way he's going to move, he might retaliate. And sometimes you may see that and say, oh my gosh, when we get to that chapter, we're going to have a fight and we're going to tussle. Now you've prepared yourself in your life to go for that tussle.
It's basically kind of giving you a heads up, just giving you like a vision. Yeah, it's giving you a vision. So now when when that does happen in your life, you know how to prepare yourself, you know how to react to it.
But the one thing is that we tend to give the wrong reaction. So, for example, it's about keeping to a level to not reacting the wrong way.
Yeah.
But because that is your friend and you hold him within your heart. Do you understand? He's about to bring the bad. Do you understand what I'm saying? Mm. But you feel like, okay, because he sits with you, it feels like it's for you.
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, he is going to react, not you.
100%.
But because you saw that in your dream, you reacted.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's about the chapter that someone's going to bring you in your life. Dreams is about the needs that you need. The more needs you have in this world, the more dreams you will have about the chapters that you're about to go in. Do you understand what I'm saying? Mm. The more you start to realize your way of life and the way you project yourself, you'll start to learn how to control your dreams. You'll start to realize that some dreams are dreams to push you off, to make sure that you do not know the ways of God. Do you understand what I'm saying? Some dreams the devil will give you dreams, do you understand, to pursue your desires. Now, for example, the more desires you hold upon your heart and the more desires that you're intrigued with, do you understand? The more the more you'll want to pursue it. So, for example, you had a dream, a wet dream, and you saw like the girl in your dreams.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? And you saw that in your dreams, and you had a sexual desire.
Yeah.
Would you try to pursue it? Okay, maybe I'm going to bump into her. And what would you try to do?
Obviously,
try to speak to her.
Obviously, according to the dream, you might just try to speak to her, innit? And just try, obviously, maybe try to shoot a shot, because according to the dream, innit?
So we got to know the difference.
But the thing is now, the wet dream now, that's basically, that's spiritual. Do you know where I'm coming from? That's spiritual, because the person you might see in your dream, where you feel like, you might feel some type of way sexually, that's the devil coming to you, appearing to you in your dream.
Because everything starts with a thought.
Exactly, everything starts with a thought, and then it's obviously
when the thought, you understand, becomes into a feeling. And when you have a feeling, you tend to go pursue it.
Exactly.
So depends how you're walking in life. So you see some people in this life, like they're already walking in a way that is not pleasing. So when they do have a dream, it's nothing
It's
to
nothing
them.
to them. They don't really
You know what
care.
I'm saying? But when you're walking to please God, do you understand? Then you start to realize that some dreams are from the devil. Do you understand? It's to push you off. Do you understand? They want you to push within the ways of the flesh. Do you understand? To the ways of this way's gonna happen like this. I think you should pursue it like that. For example, you might have a dream like, I saw a girl and it's gonna go down like this. But it's creating you a scenario, do you understand, to push for it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So those are what dreams are about. God will give you dreams to warn you, but also God will give you dreams to show you about the future. Do you understand? It depends about what steps you want to take in this life, because it's a world of free will. Do you understand what I'm saying? The easiest way to get to someone is through the thoughts. Because that's one thing. As soon as you start to project stuff within your body, do you understand? And you start to wear it within yourself, it's hard to take off you. Do you know what I'm saying? It just takes one thought to knock you back in. Do you understand? Sexual desire, it takes you one thought to knock you back in. Every desire after that, you can mostly push away. Do you understand what I'm saying? But if you take more steps within the way, and every dream that you've gone into and you project yourself wrong, the more you're going to step, the more you're going to feel anxious. The more every time you're going to feel blocked within your head. Do you understand what I'm saying? And the more you will push to do bad within this life. Do you understand what I'm saying? The more you start to realize, sometimes if you realize your dream and you start to realize the way you project yourself and what you're the core to, then you'll understand that you're not walking in the right way. And that's what God just shows you, like, yo, you're gonna go into this chapter here, you're gonna go into this dream here, you're gonna go into this chapter here. The people you're gonna sit around are gonna do this. You understand?
It's down to you if you want to follow the chapter that God's given you, or if you don't. Do you know what I'm saying? But you just have to make sure that, end of the day, that's a way of God communicating with you through the dream, for him to show you that he's got a vision for you. This is how your life is going to be. Jacob had a dream of angels ascending a ladder, and Joseph had a prophetic dreams about becoming a ruler over his brothers, and this is a way of God communicating with them through the dream to let them know what he has planned for the future. So when God is ready, he usually communicates with us, and when we have a dream, he might say, in our dream, it might show up as, you know what, you might become a pastor one day. You might become someone successful. So this is a way of God communicating with us. It's down for you. If you want to go down that path, or if you want to get lost in the world, and you want to create your own chapter, and that's where I feel like people go wrong. You know, because that's when people tend to create their own chapter. But it's also like, if you have a good relationship with God, you will know that, okay, you know, when I'm getting this dream from God, it's something good. It's to better my future. But if you're someone that doesn't have the best relationship with God, then you're not really religious. If you have a dream, you wouldn't know from right and wrong. You wouldn't know from right and wrong, and you might just ignore that. But you might realize later on, wow, you know what, that dream I had, maybe that was how I was going to be in the future. Yeah,
like for example, you had deja vus all the time.
Yeah,
like sometimes you take me places, and I have deja vus from way back. We're like, oh, I had the deja vu were going there, but that's just the place that you was taking me. Do you understand what I'm saying? They say, okay, this is the place that you're taking me. So it's about the less people you have. Do you understand? The more you pursue God's will, the more you can control your dream. Then you'll start to realize, hold on, because it's the thoughts within your brain. When you learn how to control your thoughts, then you'll be like, hold on, I don't do this stuff. So if a dream came up to you, you'll be like, I don't do this stuff.
100%.
This don't make no sense. Do you understand what I'm saying? So then you can push away from the thought. Do you understand what I'm saying? But when you're in your thoughts and and every desire that you have within yourself, you understand, you hold to yourself, then you're not going to be able to control it. Like, that's what dreams are about. Dreams is not about, it's not about, this is how your life is going to go. It's just showing you the events that you're going to. Whatever desire you hold your heart to is whatever you're going to go into. So whatever the people you hold on to is whatever chapter they're going to bring to you. So the more you hold on to people in this life, the more chapters you get. The more you project yourself in the wrong way, the more chapters you have to go through. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's about seeking peace, but also knowing the right purpose to life. When you start to realize the right purpose, then that's when God will start speaking to you personally.
100%. 100%. When you know the purpose in life, that's
why you read that thing. Do you understand? And James started to know his purpose. Do you understand?
Sometimes Satan will use the people we love, such as friends and family, to be in our dream, to turn us against them. That's his plan. He wants us to obviously fight with the people we love to get coming from. So sometimes when we have in dreams, especially bad dreams, Satan will use the loved ones, that the people that we love so much around us, to appear in our dreams and come from, and that's where he tends to cause problems.
Mm-hmm.
Do you come from? That's why you see a lot of people fall out because, you know, right, I saw you in my dream. Your plan is to do this, your plan is to do that. So the devil is very smart. He knows how to manipulate people. He knows how to use people. Do you know coming from? So that's what he usually tends to do when it comes to bad dreams. He also tends to use the fears we have in our lives against us in the dream to see how we may deal with the situation.
You see, like that.
It's always important to make sure God is in the center. Without God, we're nothing. With him in the center, the devil will never win. No matter how much times he tries, he won't succeed. So the devil's clocked on. He's clocked on already. You know what? I know your weakness. I know your weakness. So let me try to get your weakness.
The desires
exactly.
are your weaknesses.
Exactly. So if he knows, you know what, you have a sexual desire and you love sex so much, he might start using you through wet dreams, for example.
Wet dreams, or he might give you a person that has the same desire, so you could pursue it too.
Exactly.
Then.
And then when you start pursuing it,
that's it. You ruined yourself. You're gone away.
Exactly.
You remove the spirit within your body.
Exactly.
Go on,
getting comfortable. You're putting your mind to that person because, you know, all right, this is what I saw in the dream. You know, maybe this might be the right person to me. But then you realize later on, nah, they're not the right person for me. We just have something in common, which is bad, which is sexual desires. So you're coming from. So the devil is very smart when it comes to that. So we have to be very mindful of the way we interpret dreams that we get, because the devil is very smart. In dealing with any bad dreams, remember that God promised that he cares for us and that we should bring our anxieties to him. Jesus became a man so that he could sympathize with our weaknesses.
Yes.
Coming from. So it's really important. We just have to be very mindful and make sure that we don't pick up the wrong arts in this world, because if we do, the devil knows the arts that we pick and he will use it against us when it comes to our dreams.
It's the same way as Jesus when he started his journey. He knew the people that he was going to sit beside. Do you understand? But also he knew the mission that God gave him. Do you understand what I'm saying? And Jesus could have walked away from that mission. Do you understand what I'm saying? How much times that, you understand? If you saw within your mission that, oh, your life is going to fear to death. Do you understand what I'm saying? Normally on a day-to-day, if your life is going to fear to death, what would you do? You try to turn around and push away.
Yeah, 100%.
Understand? But when we try to do that, understand, on the precepts of our life and our will, understand? But God's will is a different will. Now, Jesus could have retaliated in any moment of that life, but instead, what do? At every moment that everyone slandered him or gave him wrong, he gave them peace back. And that's just what life is about. Now, you might bump into people in chapters, you understand, but your role is to give peace back. You understand? To speak for what is right, to speak for what God wants for people. This world is not here to increase us. Do you understand? This world does not give us knowledge, but will only decrease us
100%.
And decrease our mind and make us push to the wrong things. Do you know what I'm saying? And give people the wrong things. So that's what we got to realize in life. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's what dreams are about. Don't be looking at your dreams like, oh, you know what? Oh, this is gonna happen to me. I need to react in that way. Do you understand? Or if someone picked up a dream and said it's gonna happen like this, don't feel like it's gonna happen like this. Let me pursue it like this. It's about the self-control. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because now, as soon as you start to learn self-control, the devil starts to realize, okay,
I can't attack this person.
I can't attack him. He's starting to learn his ways. Do you understand what I'm saying? When you don't learn your ways, then that's when you're gonna start to go within the way that the devil wants you to be. The devil wants you to cause trouble. The devil wants you to stumble. The devil wants you to walk within a way to where you don't understand yourself and you start to do wrong to people. That's how some people start to die.
100%.
That's how some people, you might see them, you start to push away from them and they become heartbroken because, like I said, it starts with a thought. You understand? It ends with a feeling. And every time you pursue a thought and you start to go with it, how much have you gone through now? How do you feel within this life now?
100%.
You feel so heartbroken because of how much things you pursued without understanding yourself. And that's what the devil tries to do every day, to make sure you don't understand yourself, to be in your head. So every time that you keep doing stuff, you feel regret, you feel so low, your shoulders are heavy. Do you understand? You can't think within a day for you to connect with yourself no more, and your spirit that connects you to one, to pursue the right deeds. You can't do it no more. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's why you need to keep God within the center, but also follow the ways of Jesus, because how many times he was tempted, how many times he could have been wealthy, how many times that he could have been pushed away from the mission, but it's the strong mind he had within himself to make sure that he got to where God wanted him to be. And it's the same way for other people as well.
No,
do you understand?
It's true. I feel like as well, you just need to make sure that if there's certain areas in your life where you feel like you're weak, ask God to guide you. You can come from, ask God for guidance, because once the devil knows your weak points in your life, he's going to keep on attacking every single time. When he feels like you're very vulnerable in the stage in your life, he's going to continue attacking. But when he sees, you know what, I've grown in this area, I'm not weak anymore, and you can't tempt me, you can't attack me. He's not gonna bother no more. He might come like, this person, he's become stronger. I can't even attack him. Let me go attack someone else. Let me find another weak point. So it's very mindful. We need to always make sure that, you know, we just ask God for guidance. Like, God, like, give me strength, give me the courage in this area. I lack in this area. This area is somewhere that's weak. I don't want to continue being weak in this area, because if I do, then the devil's going to continue tempting me. He's going to continue attacking me. The devil doesn't stop. He's going
to keep going until the end, until he wins.
Exactly. So you need to be strong. Be like, you know what? No, listen. Let me grow in this area. You know, let me become a better person. Let me grow for the better. Let me make sure I continue having God in the center. Because if we don't
have that self-control within yourself,
that's like Amy said as well. Self-control, your thoughts as well. Once we can think something, but once we begin to process the thoughts and we act upon it, it becomes a feeling, and that's when it can lead us to the wrong desires in life, the wrong things in life. So we need to make sure that self-control. And I feel like that's a lot of things that humans tend to lack.
Start to say, as soon as we start to doubt ourselves, we say we're not perfect, and when you start to doubt for what God gives you, then you're no longer going to pursue it. So it's about projecting your eyes, feeding your mind. Do you understand? To put your deed in front of your faith. Do you understand? Because because you can have faith. Do you understand? But if you have faith, it's just a thought process. Thought will lead you back into comfort, and comfort will lead you to go back into your old ways. So it's about having that deed to keep pushing, to keep going. Because within this life, we can't shy away from it. Every desire within this world, as soon as you walk out the door, there's many people that hold on to desires. Do you understand? To wrong desires. Understand? But it's about you being the light to many other people. And instead of projecting your life to live a life for the masses, do you understand? Whether it's going to work or connecting your heart to the world, understand? Instead of connecting your heart to the world and giving it to people like your lover, the people that you're going to go work for, do you understand? It's about giving it to God, do you understand? To direct you. And the quicker you know that, the quicker then you'll understand your steps and your dreams. Do you understand that? Okay, maybe I'm going to bump into this scenario, but you know what? I can be the light within this scenario. It's not about being fearful in that scenario. You should never be fearful within this life. Do you understand? As long as you got God beside your side, as long as you got Jesus to cover you, then you should never be fearful. You should be given for what is right. And if your mouth speaks for what is right, and your mind for what is right, then you understand. Then you will live in the way, of a righteous way. Do you understand?
100%.
These are not about, we're going to get in this chapter, let's plan ahead from it, because you can never plan ahead for it. But one thing you can do is to plan to be like God, to reflect God, you understand, to give right within that chapter. And yeah, I never want you guys to sit there and step in the wrong way, do you understand? Because now it's cost you, do you understand? Now you're even thinking within your brain, I got to live like this.
Yeah.
And that's not the way, and you're letting the devil win every time.
Exactly, that's the thing. The devil, like I said, the devil will always try to find a way to enter our lives, and when he sees us at our lowest points, that's when he's always going to try and attack us. And we just have to be very strong and be mindful and make sure, you know what, listen, I can't leave the door open for the devil. I really can't, because if I do, then my life might be like this, my life might be like that. You know, it's not nice when you see people in life go down the wrong path, but sometimes there's only so much you can do, because at the end of the day, everyone has their own art, everyone has their own desires in life. That's why it's important when you have God in the center.
You're not
tempted, and God's always going to guide you, and he's always going to make sure that you're in the right path. There's a lot of people that we've seen, that we look at as well on a day-to-day basis, and
their brains everywhere. You see it everywhere. It's like, what are we doing? I gotta go get. And if someone ever did, like, you see, because you've built that scenario in the head, so when someone speaks to you, you're more on the defensive side. Do you understand? Without understanding them now, you've blocked yourself. Do you understand? You're always going to be within the way to not listen to people. But some people are telling you about yourself. The more you're going to tread like that, the more you're going to damage yourself. The more you hold on to people like that, the more you're going to damage yourself. We want you to walk peacefully within your life. Do you understand what I'm saying?
You have to, man. It's the best thing when you get peace. Peace is important. When you live life having peace, there's going to be no troubles. People can try to come to you, try to cause problems, but because you're so peaceful, you're so focused, nothing can ever get in the way. But when you're someone that has problems every single time, you're looking back, you're thinking like, why am I still in the same predicament? Why am I not progressing? Why is everyone else progressing? Why
and your dreams keep telling you?
Exactly, your dreams keep telling you. Like, why don't you sit down and reflect? Like, I need to change the way I think. I need to change the way I move. Maybe it's my surroundings. It's because it's your chapter. It's the way you want to live your life, and that's the wrong reason. So self-reflection is always important. Self-control is important. You have to also make sure that as well that God's in the center, because if God is not in the center, the devil's always going to try.
And he was always tempted. And
yeah.
God, and like God
temptation.
says, God is never tempted. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you are tempted, then you know where you are in that position. Then you understand that you're far away. Do you understand? Because God is never tempted. You want to be in a reflection where you're never tempted. And when you're never tempted, then you're in control of your mind. You understand? Your mind may speak to you like, oh yeah, someone's speaking about it. What are you talking about? Do you know what I'm saying? Or, oh man, I need something. I'm urgent. What are you talking about? Do you understand?
You can you're in control.
You're in control because it's just a thought. Like it's your ego. Your ego is your enemy. Do you understand what I'm saying? But once you try to push it away, then it stops tempting you. Understand? Then you can walk and you can give other people benefits, because then you're feeding yourself. Do you understand? Positivity is feeding yourself. It's just that the force is to knock you off. Do you understand? But you're feeding yourself now. You're feeding yourself every day. Your spirit will just rise. Do you understand what I'm saying?
100%.
And that's what it's about. Yeah, go on.
Also, as well, we need to make sure as well before we go to sleep as well that we pray every single time, because at night, that's when the devil's good. That's when the devil he's
from night to day.
But especially night, because at night, obviously our bodies we're vulnerable. We're sleeping during coming from. So that's when we tend to obviously usually have good dreams and obviously bad dreams. So the devil, when he sees you're sleeping, he sees you're vulnerable. Okay, yeah, I know this person's sleeping. That's when he will try to attack. So you have to always make sure every single time before you sleep you pray, because the devil's always at work. And sometimes as well, he always, when for things like sleep paralysis, a lot of people have that when they're sleeping. That's when obviously we're under spiritual attack. When we're sleeping, our minds are, our bodies obviously.
It means when you're. It's when you're low. Like exactly. For example, like when you're stepping within life and you're not really putting all your trust in God. Do you understand? Then you're vulnerable. Then God can see you. Then we can see you like, right, you're a bit vulnerable. You're not even understanding where you're stepping. You might even go to someone's house. Do you understand? To go take care of someone.
Yeah.
And not understanding their chapter. You understand? Because you're only seeing their appearance. Do you understand what I'm saying? So and not understanding the chapter of a person.
Yeah. So that's when he usually attacks. So obviously you need to make sure that you're just very mindful. And surroundings as well. Just be careful who you surround yourself by as well, because we don't know the people we surround ourselves by. They could be at spiritual attack as well. They could spiritually, we don't know how they are. So when you surround yourself by certain people, and you wonder why maybe you're under attack, it's maybe the people you surround yourself by as well. So it's important every single time. And just remember as well, like,
there's people in this world that are going to drown you. There's people in this world that are going to uplift you. But at the end of the day, life is about you. Do you understand?
Exactly.
God gave us free will. Do you understand? But the ones that turn back to Him, do you understand, will seek peace and will seek the promises that God gives them. The other ones will never feel satisfied and keep pursuing. So,
and the other ones as well they will still be lost in a couple of years, still trying to think of what I need to do in my life, and while the other ones is focused. So it's always important every single time. You just gotta always put God in the center. Like we always say this every single time because it's true. Without God, we're nobody. You're coming from. Without praise as well, we're nobody.
Without Jesus, we're nobody.
Exactly.
Prayer, without the Spirit, we're nobody.
Exactly. Prayer is essential. It's important. I'm telling you for a fact. When you start praying a lot, so much, when you start praying every single day, you start seeing a difference in your life. You feel peace. You feel at ease. You feel like no matter how much someone tries to attack you or try to bring you down in life, you're always going to be up there. Your spirit's always going to be there.
Because your heaven is in here.
Exactly.
You understand? It's not nowhere else. There's nowhere you can never find it. It's within here. Do you understand? A person can bring you heaven. Do you understand? But you got to understand yourself first. Heaven, as soon as you project yourself right within here, then you project within the house. Do you understand? This is a safe hole for many other people. Do you understand? You don't have to project yourself within here. Do you understand? You don't have heaven in here, then you're never going to respect yourself. Do you understand? You're always going to bring people that will comfort you, and you always disrespect your chapters.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So this is what we've got today.
Yeah, so this is what we got today, man. Like we said, we hope you enjoy it. We hope when you sit down and obviously watch the video, you can learn some knowledge, gain something from this, and realize, wow, what these two said, it makes so much sense. This is why I dream about it. This is why that. We don't come on the screen for you guys to look at our faces and talk bare pooch. You get me?
And so we're coming to make sure that you learn. We hope that your tables turn. I hope that you stand firm, and I hope you don't
burn.
And we out, man.
We out, man.